Bruins win 4-3 in overtime against the Nashville Predators. Welcome back to Into the Den, everybody. I am your host, Jay Freeman, and this was quite possibly the biggest statement win the Bruins could have had. Nashville Predators come into this game as the best team, not just in the Central Division, but in the entire Western Conference. And the Bruins come in winning 7 out of their last 8, but every single player and personnel interview has an air of a need for improvement at some movement. And also Forbert is back, Forbert is back. So, hey, we got some reinforcements here. But the Bruins start out freaking looking way too inconsistent. They are either very, very strong and they're amazing, or they're just or they're bad. And what became a theme throughout the entire game was turning the puck over in the defensive zone. The Bruins had just had a horrible time with that. But Craig Smith eventually breaks the ice. He's less than 5 minutes in getting a nice touch pass from Bergeron and putting it in against his own former team. And we had quite possibly one of the nastiest dangles I've ever seen. I don't know if I can even really call it a dangle, because it was Mike Riley gliding by the goal crease, waiting for Saros to screw up and just backhanding it in. It was fantastic, and the Bruins were up 2-0. But the Bruins just, even though they were able to do that, it just felt like they couldn't get out of their own way in terms of just how good, in terms of turning the puck over in their own end. But that didn't mean that the Bruins were bad all the way through. They played with so much grit. I don't think I've seen the Bruins take this many hits in a game since in a long time. This was, everybody was playing with grit and sandpaper. But including Forbert getting into a tilly with McCarron, and unfortunately he kind of got his ass kicked. So oops. But as I was saying, throughout the second period, the Bruins looked so out of sync, and as I was going to type that point, Luke Kunin, Carlo tried to screen him so that he couldn't see the net, and that didn't freaking work. So leading to Kunin scoring pretty easily, and the game being tied up at 2. But afterwards, I mean, the Bruins, this was absolutely their best game in this game. They put up 4. Actually, I don't exactly know if I can really consider this their best game, because there was that game back in when Swayman had like 42 shots taken on him and managed a shutout. But 42 shots on them by the Preds. This was so the Bruins swept the Preds this year. I don't know. I know sweep is kind of weird to say when it's when it's an annual 2-game series, but still. Well, I mean, we still had. The Bruins kept their issues into the third period. Pasta turning it right over to Tomasino and Tomasino passing it to Roman Yossi, and that ending up tying the game at 3. But in overtime, the Bruins looked like they got their shit back together. DeBrus got so close to putting it away. It was the first time in a few days that I had heard DeBrus's name, and I didn't realize how much I missed it. And then Pasta, like 30 seconds later, Pasta tries to drive it into Yusei Saros's pads, and Hall is right there to pick up the bounce and put it right in. And that was I would have liked it if I absolutely would have liked it if I didn't have to say hockey is a 60-minute game yet again. But the Bruins, but for all intents and purposes, they did what they had to do. I mean, I know that next game, I think, is against the Hurricanes in a few days. They're going against a team that just beat the piss out of the freaking. Why am I forgetting? The Canucks. That's what they are. Even though they're going against the team that just beat the piss out of the Canucks, I mean, it's the Canucks. They allow that to happen to anyone that steps on their ice. But this was the best game that they. This was the game that they needed to win to solidify themselves as legit. And props to them. They did it. But what was more entertaining than the win was probably just how rough everybody was. McAvoy was getting hits. Bergeron was getting hits. But what I want to talk about just real quick is the fact that the Bruins up until recently have been looking really inconsistent, and only now are they looking like world beaters. But and it's because the bottom lines are clicking. I think that might be from Coyle being put on the third line, but I want to talk about Curtis Lazar because if there is anything notable, other than the switching of the lines, if there's anything notable since 2022 started, it's that Curtis Lazar has been playing out of his damn mind. He has been doing fantastic playing in front to back, and I hope to God that this continues. The Bruins need this to continue. Let's not forget that they're still in a very cutthroat division. They still have the Leafs, the Leafs, the Panthers, and the Lightning to beat, and I just hope that we can do it with minimal trouble. But I think that is it for today's episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Click like if you like, click subscribe if you really like. Down below is still the GoFundMe for Jake Kipo to help a kid who is hurt and who is seriously injured in a hockey accident. And tell your friends that the Bruins are legit now. I think they're legit. I don't know if they're gonna win the. I don't know if they're gonna win the freaking. I don't know if they're exactly gonna win in the Stanley Cup, but they're showing exactly why they need to be in the playoffs.